I'll own it right here. Click boy, I grew up a hardcore Lions fan, biggest Barry Sanders fan in the world. I was actually a huge Barry Sanders fan when he was at Oklahoma State because I loved his game, and then he went to the Lions, and like 7-year-old me didn't understand that that's not how it works. Your favorite college football player doesn't just magically go to your favorite team because you would like that to happen. So like and then to the Barry Emmett stuff constantly, constantly, constantly. And then of course them winning everything and then being the only thing everybody talked about, that probably means you not want to hear a lot of Cowboys talk. And I think as Shadi was pointing out, since 1995, a lot of the preseason conversation every single year has revolved around is what how does this impact the Cowboys' chances to make the Super Bowl? Or this is the year when the Cowboys make the Super Bowl. That and that continued on through years of 8-8, 8-8, 8-8 under Jason Garrett. Like no indication that the Cowboys were anywhere close to contending. So they got way overhyped and way over discussed, and there's a huge national fan base. And Troy Aikman somehow gets to call all of their games and da 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 da. But now we are in this spot where they're an interesting team. They're a fun team. People aren't talking enough about them, how interesting and fun they are, the playmakers they have on defense. People, Demarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory are not getting as much run as they should be. The secondary is making plays. Dan Quinn is having a renaissance, putting these guys in positions, having them win. Micah Parsons, I mean, he's getting his due, right? Like people are talking about him very seriously. Sports writers are talking about him very seriously as not just a defensive rookie of the year, but defensive player of the year candidate. And then, you still do have all these weapons on offense. I do think they are a little bit vulnerable, both individually and as a unit. The offensive line is a little bit streaky. Remember 4 or 5 years ago, we thought this was going to be a revival of those early to mid 90s Cowboys offensive lines. They're going to be the best offensive line in the league year after year after year. That hasn't really played out. The running game, both running backs have taken turns being either less effective or hurt, and that's tough when you're trying to be consistent on offense. But when you've got a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense, and you've got momentum, that's a team that's going to be dangerous. You've got playmakers who flip the field and get turnovers and put your team in position to win and make it so you don't have Dak doesn't have to press. That's an interesting team. It's a dangerous team, and Mike McCarthy, I do not like his track record of making decisions in the playoffs. Of course, I'm talking about that NFC Championship game against the Seahawks, where he coached himself out of a Super Bowl about 7 times over. But he is a coach who does have a lot of playoff experience and Super Bowl experience, and that puts him ahead. He's still ahead of guys like Sean McVay. His track record is a lot shorter and no better. Cliff Kingsbury, what is his playoff track record? Is that team going to be ready to compete in the playoffs? What is the mentality? What is the mindset some of the teams they're putting up against? I think the Cowboys have a lot going for them, and especially if they can get home field advantage. I say that AT&T hasn't been a huge home field advantage boost for them either this year or across its lifespan, but I just think you put enough like that fan base is going to be absolutely 11 out of 10 in that stadium if and when they host a playoff game. So I like the Cowboys' chances. I like the state of the franchise. And most of all, I like that Stephen Jones appears to be the one calling shots. And it appears like he knows what he's doing